How did this all come together? What do we know at this point?
John, we know that Walgreens CEO Stefano Pessina has been talking to private equity groups about a potential take private of the company. KKR was one of the groups that was initially in discussions. We've learnt today that they've actually put in a formal approach. So what happens next is that they will probably look to do some diligence. We're working to find out what kind of price we're talking about and how the deal unfolds.
But some other buyout firms also looked at the deal and they did not pursue it. So what were the challenges here?
So the biggest challenge here is how you raise this amount of money for this kind of a take private. This would be the biggest leverage buyout in history. We're talking about debt levels of $50 to $60 billion. We're talking about equity on top of that, something like $20 to $30 billion. And, you know, we had Blackstone's Stephen Schwartzman come out last week and say this would be very tough to do in this market. And that's why you're seeing some of the people bulking. But, you know, KKR is very familiar with this management team. They have done deals with Pessina before. You know, Walgreens Boots came out of their joint alliance, and they did very well out of that deal. So it just remains to be seen how the details figure out.
And KKR has been very convincing over the years when approaching companies and talking about the benefits of going private. In the case of Walgreens, what would, Nabila, be that benefit?
Well, listen, Walgreens is under a lot of pressure. Their margins are being compressed. We're coming up to an election cycle that, you know, no matter which way the decision goes, you will see drug pricing come under massive pressure. So this is a retailer in that in that drug pharmacy area that's been under a lot of fire over pricing. Their margins are dropping. They've also got Amazon and other players like that encroaching on their territory. So for Walgreens, actually, it makes a lot of sense not to be private. It would probably be a very good deal. And the fact is that KKR does have the backing of the head of Walgreens, and that's a really big deal as well.
So how long could this take?
That is like the $90 billion question, Sherry. We don't know. There's a long way to go here because, you know, even though they've made a formal approach, this isn't a formal offer yet. There has to be a price discussion. There has to be a discussion around whether the debt markets and equity markets have appetite to be able to fund this sort of a deal. So we're not looking at something happening very quickly here at all.